welcome back, guys. This is the space where we talk about all things human. My name is Shadia and I'm a licensed marriage and family therapist, and today I'm going to be reacting to the song Sick Boy by Ren. Very popular in the comments, but don't worry, I'm not going to just take into consideration the popular songs. I'm being very, very mindful of all the things. And with that being said, any artists that I anticipate doing a lot more of their work will have their own playlist. Ren already has one. But with that being said, the nature of content on this channel, music reactions, film reviews, video game reviews, from mental health perspectives, mental health coping skills approaches, just discussions. There's really nothing off the table here because there's so many different facets of human life. And that's my whole deal, is healing starts with being human. And I think there's so many good little nuggets in so many different spaces. So with that being said, before I even get into the song, I do need to tell you guys thank you from the bottom of my heart for the love and support on that last video. I was overwhelmed hearing where you were coming from around the world, things you wanted to share with your therapist, things you've never heard before. It just meant the world. I mean, if you've ever loved something so much that you want to squeeze the fuck out of it, but I love you doesn't cut it, that's what I mean when I say thank you. So I'm going to leave it at that because I will touch on really quick the audio. Yeah, I know. I'm learning. I'm just a girl. No, I'm literally figuring it out what I'm doing in real time. I shoot everything on my iPhone and I edit it on CapCut. Yeah, it's as basic as it gets. Anyways, with that being said, I hope you guys stay human with me, imperfect and all, and we grow and we learn together. So this is Sick Boy by Ren.
Hi Ren, thank you for coming in today.
Thanks for seeing me.
Looking at your file here, it seems there's a very apparent interplay with your emotional state and your physical body. Have you ever heard of the trauma response?
I don't think so.
Basically, our bodies can get stuck in a negative feedback loop. Our subconscious can repeat patterns from the past, which can have a pretty drastic downstream effect on our biology. Essentially, your mind is making you sick.
Okay. I mean, if I'm being completely transparent, when I'm watching her, I feel protective because I've been in these spaces many times, having to advocate for my clients to get whatever they needed. I personally hate, even myself, like if I go to the doctor or something, when staff is very cold and flat, very hospital-like cold feeling. It's human to human. If someone's hurting, we need to do better. That's just a little side thing. But what she's speaking on is what sounds like somatic symptoms, somatic expression, basically meaning that your psychology can affect your physical body. Very simple example of that would be like if you're super stressed, you might have migraines or like nauseous, upset tummy, difficulty maybe going to the bathroom, like things like that. But it's caused by your stress, right? If you alleviate the stress, the hope is that you alleviate the physical symptoms. It makes sense when you think about mental health and physical health. You're literally all in like one vessel here. It's one body. Everything's connected. Gut health and your brain, right? Gut and brain is like a very strong connection. So it all makes sense, right? It makes sense. However, the problem is that when you have two entities trying to help someone, so you could have the psychology entity and then the physical entity, those professions, and someone that's telling you, I have, yes, all this like mental health distress, but I also have so much pain in my body, or I'm throwing up every day, or like, whatever the physical discomfort is. So the physical entity will do all the tests and all the things, and then they might come back and say, well, everything looked fine. I don't know what it is. I think it's all in your mind. And then the mental health entity is like, okay, so now we're going to do all the things, hopefully, that they should be trying all the different things to see if there can be some form of alleviation of the symptom. But then if nothing ends up working, I mean, now we're kind of playing like tennis with each other, like this ping pong back and forth of what is it? Because something is clearly wrong and it may not be all in their head. And that's also why I felt protective, because I've had clients that had actual physical health problems And that's not my scope. I couldn't help them with that. But we were able to delineate and figure it out of like, it's not something mental health. This isn't just a somatic symptom. And hence the advocacy with medical staff to get them what they needed. And his body clearly, I mean, he's distressed. He's rocking back and forth and he's grabbing the cigarette. And if any of you, even if you've never had this, if you've ever had like a chronic injury, I know what it's like to not be able to walk and like be so dismissed of like, oh, what are you talking about? You should have been able to get out of bed like a week ago or whatever. And you're just like, bet, cool.
Sick boy, bitten by a tick boy, looking for that fix boy, anabolic steroids, stem cell, poster boy, pass out, white noise, quick fix, snake oil, I'm about to break boy. Oh, what a shame, he's in pain, have another go, take another pill, here, take a couple more, let's see how you're doing in another week or so, you'll be feeling worse when the side effects will show.
I have to. This stuff is so frustrating to me. She's smiling now. Yay. Obviously, I like her a lot. I know she's just playing a part. You know what I mean? Smiling now, and he's saying, I've tried all the things. Like I said, little ping pong. One side is going to try to do everything possible, or maybe it's a side, whatever. All these holistic approaches, medicinal herbs, medical treatments, will try everything and anything because I'm literally out of my body. I'm so sick of this shit. And to a point where people become hopeless and helpless, a point of despair. And some people, yes, actually, because what do you do at some point? Like it gets to be that much for some people. And so you can understand. This is education, right? You can understand where all this stuff comes from. But then the pills, the medication, and on a very simple tangent, like it's just what it is. If I go to a psychiatrist and I'm like, I have anxiety or I have depression, it doesn't really always matter the realm of severity. More often than not, you might get something, and that thing could be just when you need it. And I think my issue with that sometimes is like some amazing doctors really do their job and they are fantastic. But then there's a lot of other professionals and therapists. I mean, no one's perfect. I'm not perfect. But it's like, let's just do this thing, or just like, we'll try this. Well, nothing's working. So you know what, this here, just whatever. But these medications also come with a bunch of their own side effects. So now it's like you're dealing with all these different things all in real time, but nothing's really working. And it's very lonely and isolating. So I feel like I'm speaking a lot in terms of advocacy of clients and patients because their voice can feel so small in these situations.
Show derealization, medical patient losing patience with the process, walking hand in hand with Satan, complications with the medication, inflammation, dehydration, inhalation, aggravation, building up a toleration. Drown, soccer, drown, soccer, drown, soccer, drown. I've been feeling like I'm drowning with my feet upon the ground. I've been screaming, I've been shouting, but I never make a sound. I've been looking for a way out, but I always seem to drown.
Is this all making sense, Ren?
Yeah, I think so.
Good.
I'm feeling quite animated today. It's been a long week. There it is, right? Maybe he literally just said, okay, now I'm going to take this and it's going to come with all these other side effects. And I just feel like, again, no one's really listening to me. And you guys are telling me it's all in my head. But if it's all in my head, why do I need this medication? Oh, this medication is for your brain. Yeah, but it's just so frustrating. And I think I'm very passionate about this too, because I've had plenty of clients where maybe on paper or, they were told many times in their life that they needed certain things in order to get better. And then lo and behold, they got better because they're humans and they just needed a human approach for human life, struggle, and pain, right? It's human at the end of the day. And I'm not saying that there aren't rare cases and extremes and things. I'm not saying everyone is a one size fits all. But if I'm speaking purely to the point of this video, the amount of distress, frustration, and rage that he is expressing, I'm going off of what I'm seeing here, right? And then her saying, yeah, does this all make sense? It's like, do you make sense? Like, do you ever ask yourself if you make sense, if you're on the right page?
I always seem to drown.
Is this all making sense, Ren?
Yeah, I think so.
Good. What I propose we do is we try to pinpoint the exact experiences from the past that are keeping you stuck. What can you tell me about your childhood?
I can't really think.
It's okay if nothing comes up right away. What I'd like you to do is take some deep breaths with me. In and out. In and out. Good. Good. Now tell me the first thing that comes to your mind.
I feel like it's not me, it's the world that's sick. We're given everything we need and we commoditize it. We consume, we destroy like we're parasitic. Science tells us that it's suicide and still we commit. I'm not sick, we are sick. We are standing on a cliff in the name of progress. We jump off the precipice. I'm not sick, I'm the virus, you're the virus hypocrite. How can you sit there with that smile on and tell me that I'm sick? Sick boy, looking for a fix, boy. Push it down in public, quick pose for the pick, boy. Record label meetings that commodify your gift, boy. Why you so upset? Don't you wanna be a rich boy?
Yeah, that's where we ended. I have to speak to the virus thing and the sickness thing idea, right? It's like you're saying, I'm the virus, I'm the problem. Maybe you are. Where does the illness begin in society? Where do these issues begin? Why is it that some countries have different qualities of mental health than others? Why are certain systems at play in certain spaces, but not in others? Why do we treat mental health like this here and maybe a little bit different here? Like there's still, we cannot forget this larger entity idea, because something, this is perhaps unrelated but related, but something that I think sometimes is how the science of being human, our design, right, how we are constructed as human beings has really never, changed. I'm not talking about like evolution and stuff. I'm just talking about literally like we're wired for connection, the way our brain works, the way our nervous system, fight or flight, like all that, like we are what we are. But the world around us keeps changing and keeps telling us what we need and what it looks like and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, if we just stayed a little bit more human, that's what I've been speaking to on her side this whole time, is like, maybe we can actually make a difference for people and stop treating everyone like they're just a number or whatever. I saw that change between the pig thing and then her coming back. And then his rage getting louder and louder and louder. Hello, look at the world right now, at least in my country, it's just, people are so tired. They're so tired and questioning everything. And they're seeing in real time, like, you're supposed to help and you're supposed to care and you didn't. You're supposed to help and you're supposed to care and you didn't. It's like, at some point, we're smart creatures at the end of the day. We start to formulate our own ideas. But then it still begs the question of, okay, but like, what do? I still feel like such a small fish in such a large pond.
Fuck no, industry is cutthroat. I've been doing bits by myself, swimming backstroke, walking on a tightrope, rapping with a slit throat. The way that we persist is like the ending of a bad joke. As the people evolve, we're complacent to assailants and we do what we're told. Counterintelligence, a sight to behold. Rape the earth of all resources and we bleed it for gold. And we bleed it for wealth, we bleed it for fame. But when you bleed it, can you tell me what the fuck will remain? And I'm bleeding myself, I bleed in my brain. While I'm bleeding, I'm the reason, cause I'm doing the same.
Digesting that. Rapping with a slit throat. I really like that line. I feel like it's a representation of, a lot of us, yeah? Like, I'm still showing up and doing all the things, my obligations and this, so it's almost like I'm doing it with my hands bound. Like, I'm not really doing it the way I want to, or with full authenticity or integrity. I'm conforming to this greater idea or this system that feels so much at a loss sometimes. I still think there's so much beauty. I'm not, again, speaking to this video. And then that idea of like, we bleed all the resources and then we wonder like, or do we ever ask like, what will remain? Right? We see that not just within humans, animals, nature. It's like we just keep taking and taking and taking and taking. And then it's like, what world are we actually trying to have and leave behind? What's left? What's the point at that point? And interesting enough, why I said that thing earlier, when you understand human design and what we actually are, it is important to wonder what is left and what's actually important, because we're constructing a world that doesn't actually sit well with our design. And then we wonder why people are suffering. We wonder why people are so unhappy. We've gone against their design. We've gone against what we inherently need as humans to be happy and thriving and successful and whatever it might be. And then that last bit of like, well, am I part of the problem too? Because I'm just doing the same. And it's like, it goes back to that idea of like, how much can I really do? And for what it's worth, I mean, none of us, perhaps as singular entities, can have that pressure of like, well, I'm going to change every little thing in the world. That's my job. Like that's a lot to ask of yourself, but it doesn't mean we can't begin to change our inner worlds, our reach, right, of our world. And you know what? Hey, I think that's a testament to Ren. Is that not what he is doing, right? His music, result of his experiences, his messaging. I mean, he reaches millions and millions of people. His reach has expanded and started with maybe one person, and now look where it is. That's the idea of we as humans. We can still reach. We can still make a difference. Where there is hope, there is a will. Okay, so thank you for sharing yet another amazing song and message with me. And I hope you guys, like I said, continue this journey with me of being human, and even without me, stay human.